And I'd also like to thank Fox for putting together these fabulous visual aids. We've been working very, very hard on them, and they're wonderful.
Yeah, even if they didn't all work.
Does anybody have any questions?
What's so bad about the Nike ad? Is it really the best way to move forward to put art under non-commercial license in order to sue Nike? Isn't it? I know you got a love affair with absurdity, but I don't get that.
Okay. No, that's a very valid point. What's so wrong about corporations using these ideas? Well, I think, first of all, the problem with it is that they're not attributing this to anybody in the first place. So they're essentially claiming it as their own idea, which I see as plagiarism, which I do have a moral problem with. Not only that, but they're also not compensating anybody for that idea. And as a company that is driven by profit, that makes a huge amount of profit on an idea, I think that there is something to be said for allowing your ideas to be shared with others only so long as maybe you get a cut of what they might be getting in return. I also think that by having something like a non-commercial license, should you choose to do that, you offer yourself the opportunity to turn it down if you want to. So you may in fact say, okay, but if you're interested in a commercial license, come talk to me. And then make that choice individually, instead of seeing your artwork up on a company that you may or may not like, which could be pretty disturbing.
I would like to come back on that again. But just before, I would like to say that the companies and the capitalism is not just assimilating slogans and the ideas and the playing with the meanings of science and signifiers, whatever, is that the capitalism assimilates organizational structures, production structures. So you can easily see that the things which were very, very subversive in the 60s, which were from counterculture, just became the mainstream corporate culture where you have team building, everybody being creative, going for some workshops, brainstorming, and all kind of things which they didn't have at the time when counterculture was. So it's really hard to see how to fight if you don't want to capitalism to assimilate things just because of profit. So I found that saying that the non-commercial is the way how you can protect that is very ironic, because still you will again need lawyers to tell you what is non-commercial and what is commercial, because then Nike will probably found some kind of humanitarian whatever company and do its advertising job through that. So what I would like to point is that in that sense Sherlock is much more straight to the point, and probably the only, if we can call it that way, and I think that we can, the only avant-garde movement which is still here and didn't really change the definitions of freedom, which was set up in 1984, is GNU movement, and that's probably the best example how to stay for a very long time here. And I think it says also to capitalism, try to assimilate this. And we are in the year where there are some suspicious about it, because GNU GPL version 3 is trying actually to deal with that, but I think that GPL version 2 did its job quite well.
Well,
and
let me interrupt you here. I think that you've got a great point,
okay.
But if you'd like to have a conversation, I'd love to talk to you after this, but you do have some really excellent points. Where do we draw those lines? And I think that in a lot of cases we have to choose that. I think that the duty of the artist, the duty of the shaman, the duty of the hacker is to go to the edges of society and to bring those things back to everybody else. It's our duty to go into the dream world, to go into the hidden places, and I'm talking about those places that the government doesn't want you to see just as much as those places that your own psyche doesn't want you to see. It's our duty as these people to bring those things back to the rest of society and to open those up. So exactly the way that you choose to do that, I think, is an individual choice, and there are a whole panoply of tools in which to do so. But thank you. Anyone else, or are we good? All right, yeah. Jacob asks what I plan to culture jam next. Well, I was really inspired by that story of the children wanting the rocks for breakfast. And so I'd like to turn that around. If perhaps a Scooby-Doo sticker will cause the children to choose the banana over the cupcake, maybe we can do this with adults too, as a way of combating all the hideously unhealthy food we've got. So I was thinking about maybe putting pictures, little stickers of sexy women like this on the label for broccoli. That's what I've got in mind. All right, well, thank you very much, and have a great time here.